It can't stop whenever you see Maurice Smith, who most certainly needed to put on some size. And I think a lot of Florida State fans know that. That's your center, and I still think I'm projecting him as being the starter heading into the season after what I saw in the spring. He puts on 17 pounds. 17 pounds. Maurice Smith still around the 288, 290 mark heading into this fall camp. That was a position where he really needed to put on. I mean, this was one of his biggest goals, I think, this spring. There was always some health things that was prohibiting him, I think, on gaining this. But for a guy that has needed to put on size for a little while now, it seems like Coach Storms and that nutrition staff did what they needed to do this spring. I'm sure they're going to continue to develop him and add size there. But Maurice Smith, I think the knock on him is obviously his size. And for a guy to be that deep into the interior at center, you want to have a guy that's a little bit more bulkier and has some weight to hold it down at the front line. And so adding on an extra 17, I think, is huge. Another one worth noting. And although it shows on the roster that Jordan Travis gained 11 pounds up to 212, he did admit to all of us at ACC Media Day that he is at 205 on the roster. It says 212. But, I think the staff and Coach Storms strength and conditioning coach is going to continue to develop them and put on some size for Jordan Travis, because that's another person that has needed to add some size onto him. Cameron McDonald up 5 more pounds. I'm trying to note a few more. Jalen Early, offensive lineman, went from 325 to 338. So a lot of these you got to kind of also consider, should they be trimming too? Whenever you get into fall camp, you're going to trim off anyways, and you're going to lose weight. And that's just going to happen. So the one that's really notable that I think,
dear sweet God,
and the big man group, what happened?
You're talking about 4 different players in their weight. I'm just going to ask you, will any of these weights actually help us beat Florida this year? Will any of these weights actually help us make a bowl game?
Now, come on,
That's
Jason.
all I care about.
Before Logan addresses that, you may think it's boring, but it's obviously important.
It's important to Logan. You know what? You are right. I apologize to Logan. I should be a more supportive older brother. If Logan is happy, we support Logan in his efforts. You are right.
If we found out that Florida State just got a commit from a 212-pound guard, wouldn't you be concerned about that?
I just sorry. I'm not going to get obsessed with player weight. I'm not going to get obsessed with verbal commitments. I'm going to get obsessed with just beating Duquesne.
Are we being the old? Are we being the old school? Are we being too old now? We're being old, Jason. We're being old.
You're talking about the weight of
you need to drink again. I need you to drink again. I need you to drink again and have some fun. Anyways, Fabian Lovett, 306 pounds at 318. 306 pounds at 318 plus 12. Are you worried about that he's gained too much, Jason?
I'm just letting you continue. So here, fine. You know what, Mark? You brought this upon yourself. Let's continue. Follow up, Logan. How much weight do you think Jordan Travis has to be at to start the season? What is his goal? What is his goal weight, Mr. GNC expert?
The goal weight, from what I've heard over the whole offseason, was 215. I think he shared that today during ACC Media Day. 215 is the goal. I know there was some smoke that he was around 220, 225, something like this offseason. I never saw that happening. The goal was always around 215. So we'll see if he wants to continue to add that. But for a guy that has dealt with quite a bit of injuries throughout his career at Florida State, adding on a little bit more size is nice. I know you're not seeing much change with Toa Philly, too. I know some people complaining about that. But I will say during the spring, he was Florida State's best goal line running back, which was definitely a shocker to us whenever we saw that. But that's a guy that's probably one of your smallest in that running back room with Rodney Hill. So other than that, that's really the noteworthy, really weight changes there. But the Maurice Smith one, I think, is definitely most certainly worth noting, because if Maurice Smith would have stayed at 271 and had a whole spring, those many months not to gain anything, then fans would probably be pretty ticked.